SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Kyocera copiers are more than just a copier. They're your total document solution. Contact your local award-winning service provider, One Source Technology Solutions, at 601-684-3815 for the latest in what Kyocera has to offer.
And now, Sports.
Get ready, sports fans. It's time for Chasing Foul Balls on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5 and streaming worldwide on the SuperTalk Mississippi app and on your Amazon Alexa devices. Chasing Foul Balls, your weekly source for all the sports news and interviews important to Southwest Mississippi. Chasing Foul Balls is presented by First Bank. And now, here's your host, Robbie Hamilton.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. How you doing? Chasing Foul Balls right here on SuperTalk Pike County 93.5. Glad to have you along with us. Our 52nd episode. That means we're a year old, huh?
We made it.
We made a year.
and that's plus about another 20, isn't it?
Yeah. We've been around a while.
A little hiatus in the middle, but
yeah. A little laid out hiatus going on. Hey, Coach, come on in. Well, guys, with us today, Dean Clower, the tennis coach at Southwest Mississippi Community College, and Chris Brooks, our buddy from AMP Sports. Chris has started a new talk show we'll get to talk to him about, so we're looking forward to that this morning. Let's go to work, guys. Neil Randall, on hiatus from his adventures on the coast, back with us.
Well, I'm a year older, so I don't know about my wiser, but
or good looking. One of the
I was going to say, looks the same to me.
I was fixing to say 1 out of 3 ain't bad, you know.
But I did show up to be with you two birds.
But you're still here, aren't you, Neil?
Praise the Lord.
He survived 8 days on the coast. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Whew. Let's go to work. Richard, how are you, sir?
I'm just fine, Robbie.
First question. Drew Brees says, I don't think there's a greater story in sports history than what the Saints mean to New Orleans. Your comments, Neil?
I think that is. I think that's spot on. I remember when Dave Dixon got the Saints down there back in first season was 67, so must have been about 66. But that took a lot of finagling and making sure you pull the money out of the right pocket to give to the right people. But it's huge to the Saints. I don't know if it's the greatest story in sports history, but it's huge for New Orleans and still continues to be.
I totally agree, Neil. And then we can move forward when they decided to build the Superdome. You know, the talk about that in the early to 70s, and then what they said they were going to do, and it was going to be so big, and it was going to be a dome, and pretty much downtown, and then they made it happen. And then you can fast forward to, Katrina and all that they went through there, and the game coming back. Yeah, Robbie, I'm kind of with Neil. I don't know if it's the greatest story in sports history, but for our area and where we live, yeah, we could easily say it's the greatest.
The big discussion going on right now as we get ready to start college football is the SEC the best conference in college football, or is the Big Ten overtaking them? Mr. Randall, what you say?
I don't know about overtaking, but I think the top 2 or 3 teams in the Big Ten are as good as the top 2 or 3 in the SEC. And I think probably still top to bottom, the SEC is stronger overall. But I think the Big Ten has caught up with the SEC, the upper echelon, shall I say.
Well, I think, guys, that as Indiana proved, the way college football has changed in the last couple of years allows, if you just think of it from the SEC standpoint. In 1 year with a coaching change, could Vanderbilt win the national championship or some team down at the level of Mississippi State? Because, 5, 6, 8 years ago, you'd say, ain't no way possible. Well, it's happened. So To answer the question, Robbie, I agree with Neil. I think the top 3 or 4 teams are there every year. Maybe the depth of the league, the SEC has a slight advantage, but you measure it in winning championships, and right now I think the Big Ten's got a little advantage.
But Indiana proved you could get older players, more mature players, and win.
Yep.
Because when you have 24-year-olds playing against 17, 18-year-olds, most probably the 24-year-old wins.
Well, look what Dago Pavia did for Vanderbilt. Just one player. And, back in the day, that wasn't going to happen.
Let's move on to a current topic that we're trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. Did Ole Miss do right in announcing that they were taking their 2 players who broke their contract to court, or should they have gone about it a different way?
I don't know what other way they could have gone about it, but if you break a contract, if you go in and sign the big contract, you got to be willing to live with it. So I'm going to say Ole Miss did right on that, but I'm sure there are conflicting opinions.
I would agree, Neil. It depends on which side of the fence you're looking at this from. But I think Ole Miss had all the right. You sign a contract. And didn't you say you're going to break the contract? Well, anywhere else in the world that I know of that deals with that kind of situation with big money, you're going to have a fight on your hands.
Well, does it come down to not about these 2 guys? Does this come down to what Ole Miss will be able to do down the road? Or if you don't enforce it now, how do you enforce it down the road? And if you can't enforce it down the road, what good is the contracts you have these players sign?
Well, if you don't enforce it now, we said the NCAA just has no teeth at all. That's probably what's got us in a lot of this mess that we're in, if you want to call it that. But so if you don't enforce it now and you don't take advantage of it now, well, then the next time it happens, they're going to say, well, look, you didn't do nothing up there.
You've established a precedent.
Precedence. There you go.
Established a what?
A precedence.
And yes, I can spell it.
Y'all use all these big words so early on Friday morning. Y'all amaze me sometimes.
Well, you remember, he's the educator in the conversation here now.
Yeah, but Richard knows a lot. He got most of his education in the barn up at Mississippi State.
There you go, baby.
Do cows talk to you?
In more ways than one.
Now, hands. You do have strong hands. So
hands, wet, sloppy tails, feet.
Never mind. We've gone far enough. Football coach, guys. For your university, name a football coach you would like to forget. And we'll start with Mississippi State and Mr. Hay, since that's your team. Name me a football coach that you would like to forget.
Golly, Robbie.
I got you, one. I'm going to let you go first.
Taxing the brain early.
That's right.
Which doesn't take a whole lot, but that I'd like to forget.
Yes, sir.
Jeez. We've had several many bad seasons, so I guess I got to take a pick. Jeez. I can't. I
didn't realize it'll take this much thought to do this now.
I can see him, but I can't think of his name. Moorhead.
That's the one I was going to bring up.
Because I was trying to think it's between Mullen and where I said Moorhead.
Was that Joe Moorhead?
Joe Moorhead, that's right. You sure don't want to not forget about Mullen. He won for you.
Well, that's what I said. But I was trying to think it's whoever, and I couldn't remember because I knew. A lot of people to me say Sylvester Croom, but I will say this: Sylvester Croom created a mess that Jackie Sherrill left right at the last of Jackie's career, which that wasn't all Coach Croom's fault.
Mr. Randall, I'm going to give you Ole Miss. Name me an Ole Miss coach you would like to forget.
Well, I saw somewhere this the other
Here we
day
go.
Where they
both hands on it. Hold on.
They had this same question. And
you think I stole this question from somebody?
No, not you.
Okay.
Anyway.
They stole it from you.
This particular outlet mentioned Matt Luke, but I'm going to leave Matt alone.
Well, that's the name on the list. You read the article.
And I'm going to say Billy Kennard because he created a bigger problem. That's when they should have hired Bob Tyler and didn't because Billy's brother was the AD. So I'm going to say Billy Kennard, end of story.
Both of y'all, LSU, name an LSU coach you think the Tiger fans would love to forget.
Oh, that's easy.
All right.
Curly Hallman.
You got it. What you say?
Or the guy that Oh, I just left. Oh.
Mr. Michigan. Notre Dame.
Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we moving right on along, aren't we? We're just hitting on everybody. Well, I won't jump in here for my part right now. I've been hinting for 2 or 3 weeks about a story that I've been following that involved the MACCC, which is the Mississippi Association of Community College Conference. I've been chasing it for a while, about a month. Had all kind of information on it. But in the typical MACC way, it has been swept so far under the door that a vacuum cleaner couldn't even find it if it went at it.
That's like under the rug?
Under the door. It's not even under the rug. It swept it right out the door. Which makes me go back to the feeling, guys. How can this conference make you want to believe in it if they won't be honest with you?
That's a good question.
We get no answers. In fact, this story that I'm talking about has been now sent a note out about it that says, we're not discussing this anymore to the media or anybody else. So this team broke the rules. They admitted they broke the rules, but you do nothing about it. I just don't understand.
Then why do you have rules?
Why? Well, who are the rules for?
So you can apply them to somebody else.
Yeah. But I think, Neil, if there's another school in this division did the same thing, they would probably have hell to pay.
Well, I can think of 3 or 4 that'd catch hell about it, and one of them is pretty close to where we are, and one of them's up in the middle of the Delta. But anyway, the rich get richer and the poor have babies.
That's it.
That is a quote from the late Reese Nunnery.
Follow the money, boys. That's all you got to do.
So very true.
Follow the dollar.
And for the teams that think they're at the top, that they can't do no wrong, and for some reason the leaders of the conference think the same thing, they continue to be able to get away with things they really honestly shouldn't. You know, it's one thing to break the rules. It's another thing to admit you broke the rules. And it's another thing not to get punished for it.
Well, they probably knew that before they started.
Obviously they did. I'm through.
You going to step off the pulpit now?
I have officially quit chasing this story. Maybe.
He didn't quit.
It's just aggravating, guys. You know, the more you get into it, the more aggravated you get because you want this conference to be really a good conference.
Yep.
But the folks at the top don't want to seem to make it reliable and honest at what they do. Final question. If a turtle loses its shell, is it naked or is it homeless?
I say it's homeless because that's where his home is. I mean, he can't live outside his shell. A turtle can't live outside the shell.
I would say both. I would say both. He's in a hell of a mess. I know that.
Well, now, if you homeless, you in trouble. You can be naked outside, but you can't. If you homeless.
Well, Richard, would you rather be naked or homeless?
Where am I at?
Out there in the barn with them cows.
I can be naked because ain't nobody else out there.
Poor old turtle. Nobody wants to help him at all. We'll be back. We'll talk with Dean Clower and Chris Brooks right after this. So chase the foul balls.
First Bank has access to the best supermarket savings system where customers can literally cut their grocery bill by 20 to 50%. The club checking account with First Bank offers eClub members the option of selecting only the coupons they want for the products they already use. Call or stop by any branch to open your club checking account today. Now you know. First Bank is the way to go. First Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Rachel Guy with Guy's Pharmacy. Is your regular hormone prescription simply not improving all of your symptoms? Or is it unavailable at your pharmacy? Our bioidentical hormone replacement therapy uses hormones that are chemically identical to those your body produces naturally. If you have trouble with hot flashes, poor sleep, weight gain, low libido, joint pain, or fatigue, call Keith or Jane at 601-684-4127 today to see how we can help you restore balance and relieve symptoms to improve your quality of life.
Back, Jason Foul Balls. Glad to be with you on this Friday morning here in Southwest Mississippi. My blood pressure coming down, Neil.
Well, you don't need to get it up.
I tell you what.
You've been there already.
Yeah, I've been there before. That's why I need to move on. Move on.
Take a chill pill.
That's right. Move on. Join us this morning, the tennis coach here at Southwest Mississippi Community College, Coach Dean Clower. How are you, sir?
Very well, and thank you for having me. I'm excited about being here.
Oh, and we're glad to have you. Let's start with how did Dean Clower end up in Southwest Mississippi?
Well, my wife and I, we moved from Tulsa, Oklahoma to here, took over the Fit Life directorship tennis job there, and started the program there at Fit Life. And then the Southwest teams would come over and play their matches there. So developed a relationship with some of the administration and some of the players that were there in and out. And then 2 years ago, this past June, the athletic director came over and asked if we would be interested in taking over the Southwest program. And we said we would love to. True story, though. I got to tell you, y'all like this, especially the animals. We have two dogs that are tennis mascots. So when Coach Jackson came over and asked if we would be interested, and we said yes, but let's do this. We have two tennis mascots. They're named Beckham and Dixie, and that said that would they be allowed to go on all the road trips, even on the overnight stays? And he said absolutely. I said, well, we continue this interview then. Well, that is a true story.
Well, Coach, is Beckham's full name Bend It Like Beckham?
Absolutely not.
How do you go about recruiting for tennis at the community college level? What do you have to do? How do you develop contacts? Where do you develop the contacts to recruit from?
Well, that was first up with the MACCC rules. We can have 3 international players. So all the schools that have the tennis programs in the MACCC, they recruit 3 international players, or we can have 3 out-of-state players. And so you go through that with contacts overseas. Like this year, I've made a great contact with an agent in Spain, and we're going to have 3-4 Spaniards on our team this year, men's and women's. So that would be the contact. Now with the Mississippi kids, that's a little bit different and interesting. I thought about that when you were talking about the high levels get better, the richer get rich. Well, the Southwest tennis program has been down so long, and that they had a reputation, tradition of if you want to play college tennis and you don't have anywhere else to play, come to Southwest. Where changing that culture and that tradition is been probably our biggest objective. And by doing that, it's just going to tournaments like tomorrow. I'll be leaving to go to a JJ tennis tournament in Jackson, and just shaking hands with coaches. Say, hey, I'm Coach Dean. This is what we're doing. Look at this. Look at what we've done in the last 2 years. So developing relationships with the high school coaches and with parents.
Along that line, just following up there, Coach Clower, you have had some success that I would say was unprecedented for tennis at Southwest.
Well, are you talking about on or off the court?
Both, but I believe you went
Answer that one, will you?
Yeah, well, you advanced to a tournament or two this past
Absolutely.
year.
Well, but this is this past year. Last year was our second season, and both our men's and women's teams ended up being invited to the national tournament, which was huge. I mean, when I say huge, and in the midst of that, our women made a great showing. In fact, the first 2 days we were called the upset team in the tournament. We had 2 or 3 big upsets in the women's national tournament, and the men's was kind of just set the presence with their attitude of, hey, we belong here. And we ended up, both teams ended up being ranked 21st in the nation nationally.
Congratulations.
You also had their women's team was number 4 nationally in grade point average.
Oh, wow. Can you believe that? I sent a text out to one of our recruits' parents and said, yeah, I'm going to be the academic coach of the year. Unfortunately, that is all relating to the discipline that our girls and guys had. The girls end up being 4th, and our boys end up ranked 14th in the nation with the grade point average. So anyway, so it's been good. We've had 2 first-team All-Americans from the girls academically.
Wow.
We had 2 second-team girls academically All-Americans and 1 girl third team. So of our roster of 7 girls, we had 5 make academic All-Americans. And we had 1 boy make first team on our men's team, academic All-American.
Coach, talk a little bit about I'm going to call it the new tennis facility here at Southwest.
Wow.
We know what tennis was like here for a long time.
Right. The tennis facility is second to none in our league. And it is the nicest, from the courts to our players' lounge, to the locker room, to the restrooms, to the viewing and seeing. It is unbelievable nice. It's very nice. And when we bring in recruits, and I told the players last year when we first got here, you know, this facility is the nicest in all the MACCC. However, this facility wasn't built because of who we are. Who we are is just a product of Southwest and their commitment to Southwest tennis.
You have a son that's deep into tennis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. He is the head women's coach at the University of Wyoming. He's been the head coach there now for 13 years, and they've had great success. And that was the first phone call I made when we got the job here at Southwest. And I told my son, I said, okay, I'm taking this over. And he goes, oh my God, Dad, why are you doing that? And he said, you know, you're going to be getting in at 1 or 2 in the morning, long trips, blah, blah, blah. And I just said, I think it's exciting. I want to compete, and I want to be able to compete with you at my age. And so I said, so now what do I do? So he led me in the direction of how to find players and agents overseas and internationally, and that was the step.
I'm sure you've had this question before. With the name Clower, any kin to the big Clowers of Southwest Mississippi?
You love this story. I graduated from Mississippi College, and so he came and spoke to Mississippi College, and he had his books, and he had his book. So after he spoke, I went to him, and there was a line. I said, "Sir, my name is Dean Clower. I'm from the Delta, Leland, Mississippi. And there's not that many Clowers in Mississippi. Is there any way that we could be related?" And he just put that big old grin and that big old paw. He reached across that table and hugged me. He said, "We're all brothers."
Are you from Leland, Mississippi?
Yes, sir.
Were you a Leland Cub?
We were a Leland Bruin. I went to the high school, the academy there, the year after they integrated.
Did you know the football coach up there?
John Smith?
Well, Mac Anders.
Mac Anders, absolutely.
Oh, Lord. We are really making
Well,
contact
Anders
now.
was my coach.
Well, you know he lives here.
Yeah, well, listen, we were at a match 3 years ago. And so they were playing this before I took the job, and I was at Fit Life. And so he comes over there watching the tennis. He had a friend that was playing, and somebody introduced me. He said, "Do you know who this guy is?" And I looked at him. I said, "God, he looks familiar." And I went, "Oh, no." And I said, "Coach Anders." And he went, I said, "I'm Dean Clower." He went, "Oh, no." And I said, "No, I'm Dean Clower, not the other Clower that gave you such a hard time." Yes, he was my football coach. A great coach.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too about Coach Anders. The lot of the core discipline values that we implement in the culture that we've started here at Southwest Tennis, I learned from him when I was a junior in high school playing football.
Talk to us a little bit about your schedule with tennis here at Southwest and your roster for this coming year.
The roster our schedule this year, when we're in the process of working on it, we're a little bit late working on schedule because the MACCC was late getting our conference schedule. But we got that at the beginning of the week. So
Imagine that.
Yeah, no comment.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Here, you can slap my hand too, Robbie. So, but once we got that, the first part of this week, then we start filtering in other schools. And we are now to the point where we are getting, like Jackson State's on our schedule this year. Mississippi Valley State. I had very good conversations with Southeastern Louisiana, and it's not officially on the map on our schedule, but we're in the process of working out a date right now. So those are 3 Division I schools. And we want to step up and start pressing it because we think we're getting better in that area. And then we schedule the other schools that are many. I can't imagine one school called and said, "We want to play Southwest," that we won't go play. Anywhere, any place.
Anytime, anywhere.
It doesn't make us any difference. So, but anyway, the schedule is that right now. I think we have 2 seasons: this fall and the spring. We have a big ITA tournament that we go to. That's a 4-day event, and then we'll have maybe 6 or 8 matches. You know, they call them matches. We'll start at home. We'll play South Coastal at our place. And first weekend of September, they ended up, I think, top 4 in the nation. So, like I said, we'll play anybody, but we'll have a schedule in the fall, and then we'll have a 18 to 20 game schedule in the spring.
Numbers of players you have on the tennis team, men's and women's?
Men's, this year, we will have 7 men's team. 7. We're allowed 8 scholarships. And that one scholarship, I'm just kind of keeping in the back pocket if we can find a late bloomer. But we can have 7, 8. We have 8 scholarships. We can have 10 on our roster. Now the girls, we've got 9 on our roster, and 8, obviously 8 on scholarships. And we just picked up a very good player who hadn't played for a couple of years. Her name is Alexandra Lampton, 2-time state champion at Oxford High School, and she's coming here to go to nursing school. And so we got, in fact, met her parents at a state tournament this year, talking about relationships. And I was watching 2 other kids play, met the parents, developed a relationship with the parents, and next thing you know, we're going to have one of the best Mississippi girls on our team.
How do you go about this? Is your second year as a coach. What's the difference in second year than when you started last year?
Well, I would have to say this: the behind the scenes stuff. You know, all the paperwork, all the compliances, understanding all the rules, compliances, the paperwork, getting invoices in, getting travel vouchers in. That is probably the hardest thing for me to really grab a hold of. And I want to thank my wife, who's on our coaching staff. She has educated me, and she runs the IT part of the tennis side. So learning that and getting better at that is probably the biggest difference. But as far as practices, the first year we were here, our girls didn't win a match. But we have the same intensity and the same practice as we did last year. And we'll have the same this year. So the practice is pretty much the same. The travel is all the same, but behind the scenes.
Coach Clower, how does your team, men's and women's, how do they break down as far as freshmen and sophomores and that sort of thing?
We will have of the 9 girls, we will have 1, 2, 3 freshmen, and the rest will be sophomores. The guys will have 1, 2 freshmen. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 freshmen, and the rest will be sophomores.
And most of them stay with you 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Well, they have. We've had one that left first semester last year, and it was a mutual. You know, sometimes the pieces of the puzzle don't fit to the puzzle, and it was a shake hands, and it was mutual. And then we had one that had some medical problems to his family, and he had to move to North Carolina.
You brought it up, but let's go back to it. I understand, you have a very good assistant coach on that team that helped you out.
Absolutely.
I'm setting you up, Coach. Go.
Well, without her, we would be in trouble. Without her, we would be in a whole lot of trouble with Coach Jackson, the MACC, and the NJACC, because she keeps me in line and the team in line. She does all of our prep work, travel vouchers. I'm not sure we would have buses to go on our trips if it wasn't for her, nor would we have food or hotels when we go. So she is the backbone behind the scenes, and without her, it wouldn't be nearly as functional, not even close as functional.
Final question. If a turtle loses its shell, is it naked or homeless?
I think it's like this. It depends on which way you like it. If you want to be in a home, then it's a home. But if you like running around naked, then it's being naked.
So if you like Neil, it's naked.
That's right.
If you like Richard, it's homeless.
And if it feels good, do it.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a
minute, what?
Coach, do you know the difference between naked and naked?
Now, I'm a Delta boy. Now, I haven't heard. Please, educate me.
If you're naked means absence of clothing. Naked means you ain't got no clothes on and you up to something.
That's why Neil.
Very good.
That's why Neil's naked. Appreciate you stopping by.
Oh, man,
Coach.
this has been a great. Thank you, guys.
We'll have you back as you get your season underway, and we'll talk
Robbie,
a little bit more about
if I can interrupt, but I want to thank you. When my wife, Miss Robin, and I first moved here 7-8 years ago, and we had foul balls, I think it was on Fridays. And we listened to that, and we became very educated about Southwest sports because of you and foul balls. And after a year of listening to it, I felt as comfortable about talking about Southwest sports as anybody. So I want to thank you very much.
Well, the only question you have to do is figure out what is the truth and what's our truth. There is a difference sometimes. We appreciate it, Coach. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
We'll come back. Our buddy Chris Brooks is next. We'll talk to him about high school football.
First Bank helps its customers stay on top of their credit. In today's world, it is essential to keep track of personal credit. Monitoring your credit report for changes is one of the best ways to combat identity theft and ensure the accuracy of what is being reported. As an eClub member, you receive daily credit file monitoring and automated alerts of key changes to your credit report. First Bank's Club Checking Account for anyone who wants to stay on top of their credit and protect themselves against fraud. Now you know. First Bank is the way to go. First Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Rachel Guy with Guy's Pharmacy. Berberine has been studied in many clinical trials for its ability to lower blood sugar and lipids. Patients also showed improvements in blood pressure, liver and heart health, and weight. Guy's Berberine helps clear LDL cholesterol and triglycerides from the body while increasing the good HDL. Berberine can also enhance weight loss efforts. Stop by Guy's Pharmacy today for a special discount on this customer favorite.
Welcome back, Chasing Foul Balls. Glad to have you with us on this Friday morning here in Southwest Mississippi. Our thanks to Dean Clower, the coach of the SMCC tennis team, for joining us. Interesting fella.
Yeah.
Sorry I had to follow the discussion of the SMCC, but
Of the MACC.
MACC.
MA, yeah.
Oh, well.
He's learning.
Yeah. Stay around Earth. He may learn too fast.
He's going to know where to come to get his information. He wants to know something.
That's it.
Well, we don't want to overload him.
No. Join us on the phone, one of our buddies, Chris Brooks with AMP Sports. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, man, it's been one of those Friday mornings where it's been letting it go.
I understand.
First of all, let's start with your sons. All three of them have kind of moved since the last time we talked. The oldest son graduated from college, right?
Yeah, he did. Thanks for asking about him, but life's just kind of moving on over here as far as that goes. But Connor got married this summer.
Holy cow!
Got married, graduated, and he's had a girlfriend a couple years, and he wants to go to professional school. And not to put too much of his business out there, but he's like, I'm not waiting on four years to get married, Dad. I'm like, I get it, son. So he got married this summer. We had a great time. He has one more year to pitch at Jacksonville State. They have a house there in Jacksonville, so he's set up. Caleb is headed to Mississippi Christian now. Used to be Mississippi College.
Now he came from Colin, right?
Came from Colin. They had 2 great years there at Colin, so we're excited for him. And then our last kid, Cameron, he is graduated from Northwest Rankin, headed to play at Colin.
So you get to wear your Wolfpack gear for 2 more years.
Two more years. I'm looking forward to it.
You're going to be a true Wolfpack in 4 years, aren't you?
I swear.
You got a new show you're working on, a new podcast. How did this come about?
Well, I did radio here forever in the metro area, and I don't know. Honestly, I miss that, and I just don't have time for it. Well, you know how big a commitment that is, and it takes so much time. It's hard to do that with this magazine stuff, and the studio podcast thing is something I can do that doesn't take quite as much time, and I have a little bit easier time getting that content out there. So that's having to suffice for now. And look, it serves a purpose. I can do that at home 30 minutes a day, but I can do some short videos. I'll do next week when we're putting out some of the rankings that are going to be in the magazine. I can, do a couple of minutes real quick on podcasts and talk about it. So that's how that came up. One day, God willing, I think I'd still like to do radio because I miss the format and talking to people and the interaction. It's hard to do that with anything digital. So hopefully one day I'll do that. But for now, I'm enjoying doing this podcast thing and getting this magazine finished.
Chris, this is Richard Hay. Glad to have you back. Let's just jump right into it. It's football season. Yeah. I'm sure the high schools are probably already practicing. They're just starting schools, and we'll be starting the college season. I saw a couple of preseason high school polls on the social media platforms the last 2 or 3 days, maybe more. But most of them had Brookhaven ranked in the high teens, like 16th or 17th. And I looked it over, and I don't follow it as close as you do. I don't. How in the heck could Brookhaven be that far down the list? Who doesn't think that team that returns a lot of players from the team that won the state championship and beat West Point is not going to be one of the at least top 10 teams in the state?
Yeah, they can't be that low. That's short of that. They'll be high up in our rankings. I can tell you from the coaches, which when we poll people starting in June, I try to put together coaches polls, and I can't get every coach, but we get most of them. And Brookhaven's going to be the number one team in 5A again. And then when you start breaking down the roster and seeing the kids they have back, look, and the kids they picked up, like Jordan Keys coming in from Lloyd Star. Now that's a kid that's a 2,000-yard rusher. They're going to be well into that top 10 when we put it together. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to slot, but it'll be somewhere in the middle of that, and they deserve it. I mean, they bring a bunch of kids back from that team that was loaded last year.
Is it Brookhaven and West Point?
It's
the North
and West Point.
And South seeing each other again in the state finals?
There's a good chance. And, the crazy thing with West Point, Robbie, like I'm looking at their preview now. I've got the magazine. For the most part, it's done. We'll put it out next week. So I'm looking at their preview, and they'll be number 2 in 5A. Coaches voted them number 2, and that's with 7 starters back on offense and 0 on defense. I mean, people just know they're going to throw 11 kids out there brand new, and they're going to be really good.
Chris, this is Neil Randall. Thanks for joining us again.
Always.
We're down here in the middle of a 4A district with Macomb and Columbia and I guess Poplarville, and I can't pull up the rest of them, but talk a little bit about 4A and who you think will come out on top there.
Well, I can tell you from the coaches, it's a little more open than years past. The last probably 3 years especially, Louisville, you could just go ahead and book it. Everybody had them the favorite. And they still may be preseason number 1, but there's been several years nobody else seemed like had much of a chance. And what's turned out is it's way more competitive than people thought it was. Columbia has done what they've done. Kosciuszko brings their quarterback back, Caden Wade, that's one of the best in the state. Poplarville has their running back, Ty Keys. I think Ty's headed to Miami, if I remember right. So there's other teams. And then, look, you get to Macomb, which I say get to them. Right now they're going to be 4th or 5th in the rankings. Okay, that's a 4A team with 3 Division I wide receivers on it. Have a kid that's going to Ole Miss, have a kid that's going to South Alabama, and then have another one that's headed to South Florida. Okay, when you put that kind of talent on the field at any level, any classification, you're going to be good. But especially when you're talking about at a 4A level, I mean, that's a team in the middle of a top 10 ranking that's going to have a legitimate shot. Columbia has done what they've done. Kosciuszko brings their quarterback back, Caden Wade, that's one of the best in the state. Poplarville has their running back, Ty Keys. I think Ty's headed to Miami, if I remember right. So there's other teams. And then, look, you get to Macomb, which I say get to them. Right now they're going to be 4th or 5th in the rankings. Okay, that's a 4A team with 3 Division I wide receivers on it. Have a kid that's going to Ole Miss, have a kid that's going to South Alabama, and then have another one that's headed to South Florida. Okay, when you put that kind of talent on the field at any level, any classification, you're going to be good. But especially when you're talking about at a 4A level, I mean, that's a team in the middle of a top 10 ranking that's going to have a legitimate shot. Columbia has done what they've done. Kosciuszko brings their quarterback back, Caden Wade, that's one of the best in the state. Poplarville has their running back, Ty Keys. I think Ty's headed to Miami, if I remember right. So there's other teams. And then, look, you get to Macomb, which I say get to them. Right now they're going to be 4th or 5th in the rankings. Okay, that's a 4A team with 3 Division I wide receivers on it. Have a kid that's going to Ole Miss, have a kid that's going to South Alabama, and then have another one that's headed to South Florida. Okay, when you put that kind of talent on the field at any level, any classification, you're going to be good. But especially when you're talking about at a 4A level, I mean, that's a team in the middle of a top 10 ranking that's going to have a legitimate shot. Columbia has done what they've done. Kosciuszko brings their quarterback back, Caden Wade, that's one of the best in the state. Poplarville has their running back, Ty Keys. I think Ty's headed to Miami, if I remember right. So there's other teams. And then, look, you get to Macomb, which I say get to them. Right now, they're going to be 4th or 5th in the rankings. Okay, that's a 4A team with 3 Division I wide receivers on it. Have a kid that's going to Ole Miss, have a kid that's going to South Alabama, and then have another one that's headed to South Florida. Okay, when you put that kind of talent on the field at any level, any classification, you're going to be good. But especially when you're talking about at a 4A level, I mean, that's a team in the middle of a top 10 ranking that's going to have a legitimate shot.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.